Happy Halloween. With the storm rolling in and the smell of chainsaw gas filling up my lair, I figured tonight is the perfect night to talk about one of my favorites, Tobe Hooper's 1974 classic, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So pull up a piece of bone furniture and get comfortable. We start out with a documentary-style narration, one that was done by the great John Larroquette, the man who agreed to be paid in weed for his voiceover. After the narration, we're treated to some nice visuals, that iconic camera flash, and some nice sound design. When movies are filmed without money, the creativity really shines through. We are then introduced to our victims, Kurt, Pam, Jerry, Franklin, and his sister Sally. The group is on their way to check out Sally and Franklin's grandfather's grave, due to all the recent grave robbings in the area. After everything checks out at the cemetery, they decide to make their way to their childhood home. But on their way, there's this nice man that needs a ride. Because it's the 1970s, they all decide it's a great idea to just go ahead and pick him up. This actor, Edwin Neal, phenomenal performance. He's so believable. This is a motherfucker you wouldn't want to run into. A true nightmare. He takes Franklin's picture, giving us a little hint that he's our grave robber, due to those opening photos. The hitchhiker then goes crazy and cuts Franklin's arm. They waste no time and kick his ass out, and then have to stop for some gas. The group of friends is shit out of luck though, because the gas station's all out. They ask for some directions in getting to their destination, and we get one of my favorite lines in the film. You don't want to go messing around some old house. But they make their way to that house anyway, ignoring the warning. This house is awesome. I love this abandoned place. It's a shame it'll probably be leveled out for a highway one day. Pam and Kurt get bored and decide to go find the old watering hole. It's dry as a bone, but lucky for them they hear a generator. Fuel. We get some really great shots here. Love the wide shots of the Texas landscape. They make their way to the iconic White House. Something about this place just feels off right from the start. You get this overwhelming sense of dread. After knocking on the door with no answer and discovering a human tooth, Kirk decides that, well, it's a good idea to just go ahead and walk in here. Boom! Yeah. Now that's good stuff. The sound of that hammer when it connects is just bone-chilling. Kirk's body thrashing before being struck again like an animal is so realistic. The whole scene is fucking hardcore. What a way to introduce your killer. Pam hears this and she approaches as the house consumes her. She enters and stumbles onto a nicely furnished living room, but Leatherface pops out and captures her. It's nice to know that all these bones in this film were real. Like I said, the filmmakers didn't have any money, so they had to go out and find real bones that were like just rotting away in fields and shit. Leatherface hangs her up on a meat hook, and she watches as her love is being sawed up for tonight's dinner. Time passes, and well, Jerry decides to go searching for them. The good news is, well, he finds them, and he finds Leatherface too. This was the first time this actor saw Gunnar Hansen in the Leatherface outfit, and his reaction is genuine. It's just priceless. Sally and Franklin are back at the van and just honking like mad. The others haven't come back yet, and it's now nighttime. I haven't said anything yet, but man, Franklin is extra annoying here. After an argument, the two decide to just go ahead and go out looking for him. And it doesn't take long before they find our boy. He pops out and just fucking destroys Franklin. I mean, nothing scarier than a chainsaw-wielding, human, skin-wearing maniac coming at you and you can't run away. Sally makes a break for it as her brother's getting carved up like a Christmas ham. And this kicks off our first chase. God, I love this movie. The chase goes through the woods and into Leatherface's house. She runs up the stairs and finds Grandma and Grandpa before being forced to jump out of a second-story window. The chase keeps going and Sally trips again and again. This is, it's not a cliche yet, but it will be. She makes her way to the gas station just in time. And thankfully, the attendant, he turns out to be family, kidnaps Sally, in a way forcing her to accept the previously denied dinner invitation. The hitchhiker joins them and recognizes Sally immediately. Grandpa joins in on the fun and gets a little bit of a blood appetizer. Oh, by the way, he really cut her finger there too. That's real blood. They couldn't get the effect to work right, and Gunnar just said fuck it and cut her finger open. I remember seeing this as a kid and just being shocked when Grandpa started moving around, sucking on that finger. It's sick, and I love it. Then we get the infamous dinner scene, the scene from hell, the scene that took 26 hours of straight filming. In the Texas heat, in a house with no AC, and rotting meat, flesh, all that stuff around. The scene was so grueling that Edwin Neal said that he'd rather go back to Vietnam than to reshoot that scene. But damn, I thank them for their sacrifice because this scene is perfection. It's dark, it's gritty, intense, extremely effective. I'm pretty sure they're enjoying some Kurt chops and Well, they probably made him into sausage too. This is also my favorite outfit of Leatherface. I love the pretty woman get up. It's fucking wicked. They start to swing at Sally with the sledgehammer and decide to let Grandpa have the first swing. I mean, he is the best after all. They get a few hits in before she breaks free and jumps out of another window. The second chase begins. The hitchhiker's right there. She's at the road. Boom! Holy shit. That'll do it. This dude, this truck driver, he's really the hero of the movie. I mean, he just turned the hitchhiker into pizza sauce and then clocks Leatherface with a monkey wrench. And then, Leatherface falls and cuts his leg. Sally escapes in the end, and so does the truck driver. He just disappeared. He just kept running, like, forever. And then the film ends with the iconic chainsaw dance. There you have it, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A film that helped give birth to my personal favorite subgenre, the slasher. So, in closing, I'd like to do a few segments. The first being, who got it the worst? For me, it's Franklin. Not being able to run away when there's a 6'4" chainsaw-wielding nightmare turning your torso into a fucking jack-o'-lantern is just on another level. And my favorite moment is the next segment, and I think that has to go to Kirk's death scene and the introduction of Leatherface. It really made an impact. This movie rules. It was the first horror film I ever saw, and it's just as kick-ass as always. Well, I've got some work to do, so I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.